We are back. Just give it a second. Just give it a second, everybody. Alright, so this is the latest on PTC 9. Looks like we are getting close to recon. They did find up to 35 knots of winds on this part of the quadrant of the system. That is tropical storm force winds, you guys. That is pretty significant. We are waiting on latest recon. Looks like from latest recon so far, it's a much better established center. And I do think this will continue to get a better and better center, because when we take a look at Dapia, and let's just take a look at Evis, this is where I think is the storm center. Yeah, we're going to delete the other stream. Don't worry. We're not even going to make that possible. Private. Go. Okay. Ah. We got a new live going. Well, welcome. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yep, definitely center is developing right in there, you guys. That is where the center is developing, right in here, where all this deep thunderstorm convection is. We can actually see that rotation coming in here pretty well. We got winds coming in like this. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's go into yellow. We got winds coming in like this. And then we do have winds coming back in here and circulating around this deep thunderstorm convection that's blowing up right into the center right now. That is very important. Just give me a second. Alright. Yes, I am good. If you are new, please like and subscribe. That would be very greatly appreciated. Why that the governor of South Carolina did that? Because a day ago when he did it, it had it making landfall. And actually, I do think in a state of emergency should continue, at least for the next couple of days, because we are still seeing this, you guys. We are still watching this very closely. There is still some models that do make landfall along the East Coast. And actually a bit more than yesterday at this given time. Looks like the trend is slowly but surely coming back for a landfall, or even stalling off the coast and making a double landfall. Something like that is looking very possible. So if you guys are new, let's get up to 900 subs. We are 150 subs away from 1,000. I believe we could do it, at least get up to 900 subs tonight. That would be very greatly appreciated. So we're going to go back here. And we're just going to go live here. Okay. Alright. Look at that. Definitely getting a better established core right here. You can see that right here is getting a better established core. You can see the inflow too. There's good circulation now, wrapping around in the low levels. Right here. So that's where the low level center is. My question is, where is this going to make a landfall in the Bahamas? Is it even going to make a landfall? Those are questions that I would like to see. But yeah, look at that. It is a little bit dragged, but it looks to me about same Yeah, there it is. There's the pressuring right here. Maybe a little bit. I want to see what happens over here. I want to see about the pressures over here. It's probably close to a tropical storm, you guys, in my opinion. This is... Also, we are watching Humberto. Soon to be... Right now, it's a mystery category 5. Because right now, it should be a category 5. But we, National Hurricane Center does the classic, I don't want a Cat 5. I want to wait and do it when it's about to descend. Yes, I do believe. Look at this satellite, you guys. Very impressive. We also got some interesting information I want to share with you guys. Humberto has been moving west all day pretty much. It looks like it started a little bit of a west-northwest, but it's generally moving west. And this is a buzzsaw of its kind. I mean, there is rapid lightning in the center. There's a lot of stuff going on. Look at Humberto here. Absolute beast in its true shell here of hurricane. All right. I mean, look at that. That is an extreme center right there. That's really well. You can actually see some of the Leeward and Western Scilly Islands down here. Pretty crazy. They're actually probably doing with some of the inflow currently right now of this. But when we take a look at true color, there it is right now. And it is honestly moved quite a bit west. It had a pretty good westward jog here. Looks like it started to make a more of a west-northwest movement. I am expecting that definitely to happen because it can't stay moving west. But there is Bermuda also. That is very interesting. Look at the true color here. There is Humberto and there is soon to be Imelda. Honestly, the storm is getting better and better organized. We're seeing a lot more outflow on its northern, western side here. Look at that. Breathing pretty well here on this storm. Welcome back, everybody. Look at that. If you guys... Alright. I'm waiting on recon data. So I want to take a look at some of the modeling here. On Humberto, the 12Z hurricane model runs. We're going to quickly take a look at that. So in the next 6 hours, it's generally around here where it's at right now. HRF has a pretty good eye on it. And it should continue to strengthen throughout tonight. Definitely around 11. Yeah, look at that. Definitely starting to get more organized. Strengthening. So we are going live tonight. After this storm. And then look at that. Boom. This is expected to pretty much become a strong tropical storm by 8 a.m. tomorrow, potentially. You can see if you guys are in all these Bahama Islands. I'm actually going to highlight. I'm going to highlight these islands out for you. So, What's a good color is black. And we're going to go right here. So, these are some of the islands right in here. Right there. There's another island. It's a little hard to see, but there is some islands of the Bahamas. Look at that. Whoo, look at the Bahamas. I'm just drawing out some of the Bahama Islands that we could see it right in here. There it is in the next, by tomorrow morning. If you guys are in the Bahamas, take this with a massive watch here. You got a lot of rain bands, strong winds, slamming some of these islands. Even over here with some of these islands, you're talking about potentially major waves, flooding, inundation of water, and as these islands probably seeing some of the strong winds. I would say the HRF generally has, when we take a look at the winds, yeah, this is about wind gusts up to almost hurricane force wind gusts on some of these islands here. So something to seriously watch out for and really seriously take in first sense. Let me answer this question. Could Humberto hit Bermuda as a Cat 5, Brady? No, it could not. Another question is, do you think that westward shift could be more accurate? Yes, I do believe it could be. I am actually seeing that currently. I am trying to look for some Cuban radar. We're going to actually look at some Cuba radar and see if we could get a low. Humberto Hurricane. Yep. Okay. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to let me know, as I am watching the chat and answering questions. But on the HRF, it generally has this strengthening, and even with the wind gusts here up to maybe even 80 miles an hour knots. That's up to almost Cat Strong 1 hurricane force wind gusts along the Bahama Islands. Also, as we continue, this rides to Florida's coast and does become a very strong Category 1 hurricane. And actually, if you guys are in these areas, look at that. Florida on the HRF has you guys getting up to 40 to 50 mile an hour winds along the Florida's coast now on some of this. So that's why they did put tropical storm watches for parts of Florida. While this is going to be a very large beastie storm bringing probably rain impacts, but this does actually get more intense here as this continues to develop, and we do see winds potentially reaching into Georgia, parts of northern Florida, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. So that is very significant, big wind field even for portions of there on the latest HRF. And then we do see also the radar bringing some of the outer bands right along there. But this does continue to strengthen, actually bring potentially impacts to the coast of Georgia and then South Carolina all the way. And it actually is very interesting here The latest HRF is definitely closer in the 12Z. Strong category and shows a Cat 3. No, category 3 is like 960. It's the same thing did with Jose when the national. What is up? But the HRF does have it getting alarmingly close to South Carolina here. This is probably a category 2 hurricane. And we're talking about some very strong gusty winds in this shield of rain right here. These are probably wind gusts up to category 2 mile-an-hour winds right here. Just off the coast. Even parts of it making a landfall on the coast. But it does have it literally getting actually closer. The eye wall looks to me like the eye wall, this is the low right here. The actual eye wall is now making a landfall along the coast of South Carolina, you guys. Alright? Bringing major rain impacts to the further north you go. And this is that latest HRF. And this is why I'm not completely throwing out the model. And then it has it moving a little bit off. And then slowly, gradually get sheer. But it does go off the Carolinas. And then eventually go out. It looks like. But this gets alarmingly close. And still brings major rain impacts. Okay. And also the winds here. This is wind gusts, you guys. They actually have almost category 2. Wind gust, force wind. Hey, thank you for the $4 donation. I really do think Hurricane Humberto is a category 5 hurricane. We really need recon to confirm it. Really need it to confirm. Thank you for the $5 donation. That is very... Thank you for the $5 donation. That was very nice of you. One second. Alright, 1 second, everybody. Alright. So, this is the latest HRF. Right here. And this is that latest model. Look at that. 100, and this is potentially possible on the latest HRF. Okay. Now let's take a look at another model. Because hurricane models trended and GFS closer to the coast. This is the HMON here. Generally, throughout tonight, this will become a stronger storm. And this does go into the Bahamas, potentially become a hurricane. Actually, look at it. This is last run. Look at the latest run. closer to the coast. And then it looks like, look at that, the H-mon makes a landfall into the Georgia and South Carolina's border on the latest 12Z. Closer also, and then it does look like it remains like that, but it does make a landfall on the latest here, and it does bring potentially category 2 hurricane wind gusts, almost hurricane models. And you can't say that with the GFS, because GFS actually been doing alright on the model, and Euro has it making landfall also. Euro. This is that latest H-mon. Does like that feeling of landfall. But you need to watch the wiper effect, because that goes with the National Hurricane Center too. Okay. Now let's take a look at, so the HRF has it remaining off the coast about like 15 to 20 miles. Hammond has a straight on landfall. The HAFS A is extremely close to Florida. The trend continues. Look at that. Bahamas becomes a potential hurricane up in here. And this does look like the also the HAFS A makes a landfall, but then actually loops back around and stay in the area. Look at that. This is something we are going to have to watch. This is another hurricane model, you guys. That's 3 models bringing major impacts to Georgia and South Carolina. Okay? This is something that we are going to have to watch. And I'm going to like to see the 0Z tonight when we are going live tonight. But look at that. Major impacts if the hurricane models are right. Look at that. It does bring impacts on here. This is a very aggressive 94 knots on category 2. Correct. It is not a forecast, but we are going to have to watch. Okay? I want to look at the HAFS A parent. Look at Humberto. Humberto gets pretty close to the coast. Total accumulation rain. Look at that. If the hurricane model is right, if the HAFS A is right, it does bring major flooding into the southeast here. Okay? Someone to seriously watch. Okay? Do not keep your eye off the bar. Don't say it's over, because you could definitely be tricked. Because on the latest, let's look at the HAFS B here. Look at the HAFS B here. It does make about a 20 mile an hour, 20 to 50 miles off the coast, bringing major impacts too. That's 4 hurricane models. That's all 4 out of 4 hurricane models that bring significant impacts into the Carolinas. So I am not rolling it out still. Okay? Yes, it's good. And then look at that. It stays off the coast here. Alright. I also want to take a look at the European model. We got the lovely Euro in. Southwest Atlantic. Look at that. The Euro likes the solution that this stays a tropical storm a little bit weaker. Rides the Florida's coast. Becomes a hurricane. But look at it. It rides off the coast. Looks like it's going to go out. But with Humberto leaving leaving it behind, it does stall for a few days and then actually makes landfall in North Carolina. This is a little bit weird to me. But look at that. European has it stronger and then getting looped back into the Carolinas. Alright. It is a very complicated forecast. It is very complicated. European ensemble 60. Let's quickly take a look at Humberto. Oh, wow, Humberto. Humberto's doing Humberto things, alright? What's very interesting also, Humberto looks like it's moving west again. Looks like it's generally moving in a westward position. But that eye is clear as day. That is no other eye you could get better right there. Alright. Look at the visible. Holy wow. Crap. Wow, look at this. This is definitely probably a Cat 5. Look at this. Wow. Let's take a look at 9. Yep, there it is, you guys. What I think is happening is we are seeing a low pressure develop down here. This is kind of weak steering winds right here. You could kind of tell. They are kind of going in like this. That's where the low is. I'll say 5 p.m. update is a tropical storm. Yeah, it looks like it is moving northwest now. Looks like it started making that turn. So that's good. Humberto. Getting better. Alright. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe. We are looking. I mean, look at the GFS. You don't want to... Look at the GFS. It makes a very close impact. It's been moving west lately, and it makes a very close incline. Yeah, it doesn't make landfall, but look at it. It's been moving west. And then it wants it to come back here. The RGEM. Oh my god. Boom. Kind of a wait and see game. We're kind of waiting. Huh. Let's look at Evis. I'm watching the low-level center for PTC 9. Or, I mean, in depression, tropical depression 9. Oh, wow. Look at Humberto. It's getting even better organized. That's a nasty storm. Yeah, I agree. Huh. We're kind of in the waiting loop. Yeah, I would say new low-level center is down here. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, wow. I wanted to quickly take a look at a radar. Cuba! We got Cuba radar. Wait. Is it these? It might be... I don't know if that is really a radar. Kind of a wait and see, you guys. Alright. Trash it after. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up, you guys. I'm gonna